Hi guys, this is Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalists. This is a reply video for TheLordHumungus, who tagged me for making a video regarding 5 most underrated survival skills for preppers and survivalists. I thought it was interesting, so I'm doing it for him and the rest of you guys, and I hope you get some good ideas from it. I think it's a good idea to cover some of this stuff because it brings a sense of a realistic approach to many of the things that sometimes just aren't. Top of my list, realistic security and self-defense. Well, you may be thinking, what are you talking about? This is a video about underrated skills for survival, and 90% of the stuff I see regarding survival is guns, ammunition, and shooting and stuff. Well, the keyword here is realistic, the one I have underlined in red, because that's something that is lacking many times on the way people approach this issue. Sometimes you see videos and posts and writings of stuff that you simply do not do, weapons you just do not carry with you. So that's what I mean by this. It's lacking a realistic approach. It makes very little sense to talk about the top best rifle or how good you are with your rifle, but when someone asks you about, well, what are you carrying with you all day? What is your daily carry piece? No, I'm really not a good shot with a pistol, so I don't carry one. And yeah, I have this tiny little thing with 5.22 long rifle shots, but I mean, if I need a gun, I'm gonna be using my rifle. Well, you may not have the option to do that. You may not have the rifle with you. I mean, 99% of the time you will not have your rifle with you because you don't carry it with you all day. And if you don't carry it with you all day, it's not going to be there with you when you need it. So being realistic in terms of weaponry means being very good with your pistol, carrying your pistol, having one that is appropriate for defending yourself in the worst possible scenario when all you have with you is a handgun. That's one of the key things that I would mention. Then self-defense. This includes, as TheLordHumungus mentioned in his video, he talked about integrating hand-to-hand fighting, people that haven't even gone into a fight, never fought a non-cooperating partner or adversary. I think it's very interesting. I think that Sneaky Dog from Dog Brothers said once, I think it's actually written in his website, he said that it's not very marketable to have people punch in the face. People signing up for a self-defense course or some training and such, they really don't appreciate when they get hit. That's because most people, I mean, you have to get your ego out of all this because it really achieves nothing at all. The thing is, it's not that people are scared. Well, maybe some are, maybe some aren't used to being physically hurt in some way. It's just that from a marketing point of view, it's not a good idea to have people doing things that are taking them out of their comfort zone. Now, when it comes to realistic self-defense, people have to be taken out of their comfort zone. People have to be beaten and defeated and feel that they have to tap out, that they have been put in a place that they don't feel empowered. Of course, it's much nicer when you go to a class and you feel, okay, I'm the king of the world. I can't do anything. I'm unbeatable. Sometimes you see in those the Krav Maga promotion videos. You see the ladies talking, yeah, I feel I can take out anyone because I feel empowered right now. Well, that's not very realistic. So you have to include a bit of hand-to-hand fighting. You have to include being smart as well. Maybe you fight someone that is better than you. That's always a possibility. But maybe you have other means as well. If you carry your knife with you, someone is better than grappling than you are, you can easily put lots of hurt to him. You can easily kill him while he thinks that he's actually defeating you before he even realizes he's bleeding to death. That's because you had the mindset to prepare for a situation that even not ideal for you was entirely possible. So you have your basic hand-to-hand fighting skills, you carry your knife, you carry your gun, you are aware of your surroundings. All that comes to the package of realistic security, realistic self-defense. When it comes to realistic security, sometimes you see people talking about how they're gonna be defending the retreat they don't even own, or hanging out with a group they don't even have, how they're gonna be organizing a team they don't have. They barely talk to their neighbor, and they talk about the team they're gonna be using and having for the end of the war situation. Think realistic, think right now. If your house right now has a door that could easily be kicked down, your security is awful. If you leave your back door open, thinking that a criminal isn't smart enough to circumnavigate around your front door and go to your back door and open it, you're not being very realistic about your security. Your security is your home right now. Your security is your mindset right now, the way you recognize your environment and see the possible threats. Now, this isn't as much of an issue right now because, seriously guys, right now in USA you don't have a serious security problem. In my country, where I live right now in Argentina, if you don't have burglar bars, you're gonna be broken into because you're gonna be the only guy in that block that doesn't have the freaking burglar bars. So the standard, the general standard of security is high enough that makes it a problem for those that aren't aware of such an issue. Again, this is probably not a problem right now in USA, in most of the good neighborhoods. As people told me several times, yeah, this happens in the ghettos, it happens among the illegals, the drug dealers, whatever it is, the minorities that fight each other or whatever. But you still have the good neighborhoods, okay? The places where you're still safe and you're still allowed to do many stupid things and many mistakes and not pay for them. When things get much worse than that, you don't get away with them, okay? Running out of time, probably will have to do 2 parts because just it's impossible to make it any shorter. Saving money, again, I make videos of gear review all the time. If you buy everything that I review, you end up being broke, I probably think, because there's so much stuff that I go through that I show. Now, that doesn't mean that you should be spending all your money on every single thing that you see on the internet. You see what you like, you review, you look at many of the videos on YouTube. There's thousands of them, and you make an informed decision. Making that informed decision will save you money, okay? Because you don't have to make the mistakes. Other people are making them in some way for you. They're showing you out there, you see all that, you make an informed decision, and you don't throw your money away. Saving money, I mean, just being very careful of one of the things I did when I was really in a tight spot. I was just married. I got married in 2001 while everything was, no, it was actually 2002, April 2002. And we had just had the economic crisis of December 2001. You can imagine what type of wedding that was, the kind of gifts I was getting. I mean, yeah, it was funny, and just those memories. People don't still understand how much money can be saved. What we did back then was we had a little notebook, and then we actually started using with the Excel sheet. We took note of every single cent we spent during each day, and that was our budget. You know, having an informed decisions based on what we were spending on daily terms. I mean, it really brings another sense. It brings a much more a much better perspective of your expenses when you write down every single thing you spend each day. You realize that if you're already on the 10th day of the month and you've already gone through 1/3 of your budget, you're not gonna be you won't be having much left on day 30, right? So there's so many things people throw money away at. Having cell phones they don't even need, having cars that they're just piling up like junk in the backyard just because they got them for what they thought was cheap at the moment. There's so many things that, especially in a society like the American one, that you had it good for so long that it took away the perspective of what you actually need to get by. You don't need that much, and many of the stuff people end up buying is just because they got affected, because the marketing skills of some smarter person got to them and affected their decisions. So you have to be very cold, very objective of your expenses so as to reduce and save money as much as possible. Just throwing money at the problem. You see it again in the survival community. You see it all the time. People buying stuff, and all of a sudden one of the guys says, okay, I'm broke, I'm about to lose my house, and that guy has lots of stuff that he starts selling. He starts selling the crap he bought before that he didn't actually need. Okay, that shows you that at some point during his planning he started making wrong decisions. He started buying things he really didn't need. He ended up spending more money than he had, and he's now about to lose his house. These are things that happen. They happen all the time, and as things get worse, they're gonna keep happening to people that were supposedly survivalists and very prepared for absolutely everything. They were prepared for the zombies, the Russians invading, and all that stuff, but they weren't prepared to losing their job or having their income reduced because of inflation below poverty standards. Okay, you may still have your job, but as the purchasing value of the money you make starts decreasing, I've seen all that. It's not pretty. It's not pretty having people beg you for a job, and having a friend of yours beg you for a job, and you not being able to give it to him. You not being able to spare any money to help him out. And those things happen, and it will eventually happen. I mean, just based on what's already occurring in USA right now, I'm telling you, if it didn't happen to you already, those situations where you have desperate people that once were doing very well asking you for help, and you being not able to help them because either you're in a tough spot yourself or you're not doing that great. Those are all the things that end up affecting people. And you know what? These are just individual examples of a much greater situation that's going to be regarding a social group, that what used to be a middle class becoming poor. When you don't have the money to keep the social lifestyle you used to have, you just drop from the pyramid. The pyramid, where you have the rich top, the middle class working guys, and the poor. Well, you start dropping from being a middle class American to being a poor American. And I mean, it's even worse to be a third world country poor guy. That's much worse. But it's not nice to be in the poor section either, even if you're still in a first world country. So saving money is something that you have to work on your budget. There's lots of good information. I think it's Chris Masterson. There's many websites that talk about how you can control your budget and save money right away just with the income you have right now. Third would be making money. And this is again a favorite topic to bash in the survival forums and discussion boards. Making money as if the rich guy is really stupid and he's not a survivalist. He's a rich idiot, which is kind of doesn't seem to go together much well, because usually if you have the knowledge of a know-how of how to make money, I mean, that's a very admirable skill in my opinion, and it's going to be a much needed survival skill when the economy keeps going down or even collapse if it ever gets to that. Don't ever underestimate the guy that is able to make money. He may be a good person, he may be a bad person, that doesn't change a thing, but it is a good skill to have, and you can probably learn from that guy something. So when you have what I was talking about before, when you have the purchasing value, the purchasing power of the money you're making going down, you really have little other option than making more money. If the $2,000 a month you made or the $1,000 a month you made just isn't enough, you just have to make more of them. You can do this. You can you can save money, you can reduce your expenses, you can tighten up your budget up to some point. When that point is passed, you really have to start making more money. So still on point 3. I'll keep talking a bit about this on the second part of the video, but I'm running out of time, and this is so far as we got with part 1 of these videos. I'll see you on part 2.